Okay, Charlie, we're going to watch your freestyle here underwater. It'll be interesting to see what different body position we see, maybe what different head positions we see. So we're just going to see what we can. All right, so the very first thing we're seeing real quick is just how high in the water that head position is. You can see your goggles are looking straight ahead, right? We're going to see a little bit better as we get a little bit closer. But we do want to make sure we keep that spine in line. You want to make sure your head is looking down here towards that black line. Okay, when you swim, when you walk, right, you don't walk with your head in the air. So you don't want to swim with your head in that unnatural position. You want to swim with your head in that natural position, which is just the neutral position, which is basically thinking about keeping your spine in line, head straight down. All right, so that's one of the biggest things that we see that really is going to help your freestyle out a lot. As you come through here, we can see just a nice steady kick. Okay, your kick could be a little bit bigger. As you can see right here, you had a little bit of air, a little bit of white water coming off, but really generally we're not seeing a whole lot of movement from those feet that's generating any white water. You can see your feet are actually, here's the surface, here's where your feet are pretty much staying. They're really not breaking the surface. You want those feet, you want that kick to really break that surface just a little bit so that your legs are a little bit stronger, okay? Because your kick is really what motors your freestyle all the way through. Again, real quick, you can see the eyes, the head position right here. All right, so make sure you work on keeping your eyes down as best you can. Wind it here just a little bit. Go. As you start your strokes, sorry about that. As you start your strokes here, okay, you can see right away it's a little straight armed entry. You want that hand to enter about 8 inches past your head. So your hand enters first, and then your forearm and your elbow goes in forward. So you're actually turning your shoulder more into your stroke. When you enter fully extended, you're a little bit more flat than we want to see. So do try to get those hands entering a little bit closer to your head, not quite so far out. As you start your stroke here, you can see you have a nice bend in your elbow. That's excellent. Your hand is pushing back this way, which is absolutely perfect, Charlie. Like that a lot. As you're going through, I'll be curious. We got another side view of your freestyle. We want to make sure that hand is a little bit closer on the inside of your shoulder, and it looks to here as if you're on the outside of that shoulder as you're doing that pull, which means you're not pulling near your core, which is really where most of your strength is. So work on trying to get that hand a little bit more on the inside of that shoulder. Good pull on both sides as far as where you're pushing. You can see that you have hands pushing back this way the entire time, which is great. We'd like to see you try to keep your elbows a little bit higher as you start that stroke. Okay, so right here what we want to see you do is start to bend that elbow, right? And so that hand starts to pull this way, not so much letting the whole arm come down in the very beginning. You do get a bend in your elbow, but your bend in your elbow doesn't take place until right there. So you're about a third of the way through till when you finally get that bend in the elbow. Get that bend a little bit earlier. Try and grab that water just a little bit quicker. As we go into our turn here, all right, so again, this is what we were talking about above water. You can see how wide your arms are. You want to make sure that you keep those hands close to your body. So when you're doing your flip turn, right here, as your hands start to get to your hips, okay, you can see right here that your hands are pointed up, right? What we want to see you do is as you start to do that flip, point your hands towards the bottom of the pool, so turn your wrist down, and then think about the idea of throwing water towards your face, and that's what helps generate that speed, bringing those legs over a lot quicker. All right, so you want to generate that speed by throwing the water towards your face. This is what we kind of call jumping rope, where your hands are going out to the side, and while it generates your legs coming over, it doesn't generate a whole lot of speed. As you come off that wall, this streamline here looks excellent. Head position is perfect, which means you have a good body line. That all looks great. One thing to make sure, don't over-rotate quite so much. And part of that over-rotation on that turn is simply because you're moving your legs out. But as you can see right here, your feet are a little bit almost even with your hips. What you want to do is have your feet a little bit higher there and your hips a little bit lower, so you're actually pushing a little bit more down. Okay, the reason I use this square over here is just so I can kind of point where it is we're looking for. As you come off that wall, there's that one dolphin kick, and then about a half a dolphin kick and a flutter kick. But you can see how shallow you are. We want to get a little bit deeper. We want to see us come off the wall like this, get down underneath the wake, and then you'll start to come up here a little bit further here. This is where the flags are, so we still want to work on trying to get out way past those flags. And when I say way, I mean really what we're looking for is 3 dolphin kicks, flutter kick, and then get going. As you start that first stroke, you can see your elbow starts coming out of the water right here. That hand is already out of the water. You're still a little bit further underwater than you want to be. So you started that breakout stroke just a shade earlier. If you work on your dolphin kicks and you work on kicking out a little bit further, I think you're going to see that become a lot better. Okay? You're early and we like that, but we want to get a little bit later. Once you come up though, man, that looks good. Just keep working at that kick for us, Charlie. Excellent.